Okay, we're back.
Did you change the problem, or did you go back to the three?
I just went back to the problem we were on.
Oh.
Okay, because unfortunately there are several important things in this problem you need to know. We just got it switched over to all cosines, and we were just debating, okay, I need to try to factor it if I can. It's not in the right form. You need your cosine squared positive. You can either change all the signs on the whole thing, or you can just move it to the right-hand side. Since I'm rewriting anyhow, I'm just moving. But you're just changing signs to get it equal to 0. Okay, dude, factor this puppy.
Oh, gee, cosine.
All right. So you're thinking it's got to be cosine and cosine.
I bet it's cosine plus 1, cosine plus 1.
Well, it's got to be 1 and 1.
Yeah, then plus plus. Doesn't have to. No, minus.
But it's a minus.
Yeah, minus. It can't be plus minus, they're conjugates, and there would be no middle thing.
You're right. Those are conjugates, so that's going to mean the middle term is gone.
This is
No.
not factorable.
It's not factorable, so what do we do?
Quadratic formula.
Yes! It's the quadratic formula. Woo! Downwards, yeah. Oh, seriously, the quadratic formula is that difficult for you now? Okay, what is it? What's the formula? Nicely sung.
Just to clear things up, JR just sang that wrong.
Yeah, I was like, hey.
Okay, now, so what we just did here doesn't work, doesn't factor. Now, the difference is when you solve a normal quadratic, you're solving for x. But we, in our case, are we solving?
Cosine.
We're solving for cosine. So when you do quadratic formula, you're coming up with what cosine would equal. You're coming up with to what number cosine is equal to. Just like back on the previous one, we got cotangent was equal to 4/3. We're going to come up with cosine equals some number. So this one is nice though because A, B, and C are all what number? 1. You just got to watch your signs. So negative B in this case would be positive 1 plus or minus B squared. Technically negative 1 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 1. All over 2 times 1. So we just need to, the inside does simplify. If you get an imaginary number, you're done. You can't have imaginaries. This does not come out imaginary though.
1 minus 1.
It would be 1 plus 4, so it'll actually just come out square root of 5 over 2. That's not that horrible. Now, here's where you become calculator experts. We have to get our calculator to tell us what values those are. Do not, I repeat, do not, whatever you do, I'll have people want to save a step. And they'll want to do inverse cosine of this.
It doesn't work, does it?
Well, it'll give you an answer, but you're going to be missing some information you desperately need in order to finish solving the problem. You need to work out just what is the value of the quadratic formula part first. And so you'll have to do it 1 plus square root of 5 over 2. You're going to get 2 answers here. And then you have to go back and do 1 minus square root of 5 over 2. Which I'm actually going to cheat. I've already got this one in here somewhere.
You are such a cheater.
Yep. Well, yeah, there it is. 1 plus square root of 5 over 2. Okay.
1.61.
So if you punch that in there, you get 1.618. Okay, is that an angle?
No.
No, that's the numerical value. Notice it's positive. You need to know that. So you just got cosine equals a positive 1.618. You also need to go back and find out what the negative version is. Actually, I would really. Does this one bug you, anybody?
Why would that bug me? It's a perfect fraction.
Cosine equals 1.6.
No, it can't be over 1.
Cosine can't be over 1. That's why you need to know that numerical value. So that baby's gone. Whoa.
What did you do?
It's trying to save.
42 to 46.
It's trying to auto-save. My whole computer is running excessively slow. Actually, the the network is running.
It's the storm coming, they know there's something.
It could be the videos, it could be that the network's going.
Be like Australia, hey, we heard there's gonna be a snowstorm in a week, let's cancel school for next week.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure they're canceled for tomorrow.
Okay, I'm at least pausing the recording. If it doesn't, we don't need to sit here and watch it
I want
save.
the cancels every day.
We're back on. Okay, so as we just discovered there, cosine can't equal 1.6. So you're going to pitch that answer out. That's so good.
I think you just blew your computer's mind.
You're going to go back to the calculator. Yeah, go up and, is it going to be negative 1.618? No.
No way, Abby. You're so good.
It's a negative 0.618.
Actually, I was gonna say that.
That will work. That is a possible value. Cosine can equal a negative 0.6, etc.
You gotta do the inverse of that.
Okay, so yes, I do. What quadrants will my answer be in? Cosine's negative in second, third. All we need is the reference angle. Okay, now here's the wrinkle. We need to go back and do inverse cosine of that to get the angle. And I would really like to do the entire decimal so I get an accurate answer. If I round off, my angle will come off with more error. So normally I would tell you, just arrow up here and get this answer. But if we do inverse cosine of a negative,
It's not gonna work.
it's going to give us that second quadrant angle as an answer again. If you don't want that, how can I make this answer become positive?
Put it back there, then click.
Well, actually you could try it. Will it let me do that? It will. You can go delete the answer, or you can put an extra negative in front of it.
You're still going.
I didn't hit it that many times, and then it'll do that.
Would you click that many times?
I didn't. It just does it. It'll go nutso. See? I didn't hit it 50 times,
Clicked
but
it 3 times,
oops, I'm sorry. I hit it. Enter.
why
Instead of
did
delete.
you do that?
How? 2, 3, 4,
Sal's
5,
gonna
6,
be
7.
going insane.
Good luck, Sal.
Right there, perfect.
Okay, delete it. Okay, my way, actually, I'll show you how I would have done it. It would have been faster. Okay, so you'll get 51.8. If I was going to do it rather than messing with that, I'd have gone negative, and then I just put in, right here above your negative sign is answer. You can just put in second answer. Actually, except it's got, if I was back here, it would have taken that answer, taken a negative as a negative and made it positive. Now my previous answer isn't correct, but you can just put a negative of the answer in and save yourself a little time and trouble as well. However you want to deal with it. The point is, we got 51.8 as our angle, and that's what we need. Okay, so now name, that's the hard part. Name me the answers. Put it over here.
180 minus 51, 231.8.
Okay. Okay, so if I do 180 minus 51.8, that's going to be 128.8, I think. 0.2, yeah, sorry, 0.2. And then if I do plus 51.8, that's a whole lot easier. I'm going to get 231.8. And there are your two solutions. Once again, did you do anything to cause you to have to check it? We don't have any fractions or anything, so it's okay. I need to point out to you a couple hints. Suppose you've been doing this problem, or you did a problem and you had all cosecants in it, and so you'd done quadratic formula on your cosecants, and you came out with 2 plus or minus square root of 3 over,
9.5.
I got to pick a small number. I just picked very big.
1.
Make that 2 plus or minus the square root of 13 over 3. Because I have to make sure it will come out a positive number. You can't punch. You can punch this in your calculator, get the decimal, but it's going to be a cosecant. You can't do inverse cosecant in your calculator. So you need to turn it into a sign. You need to flip it over so you can do a sign. So just flip your quadratic formula over. Just turn it upside down. Make it 3 on top. So do 3 and put the 2 plus or minus square root of 13 on the bottom. then punch it in your calculator. So, just turn your quadratic upside down. Works fine. Not a problem. Alright, last but not least, how do you solve one of these puppies by calculator only?
Put each side in white.
Yes! There are actually two ways to do it. I'm going to tell you about both of them. I don't care which way you do it. It's your pick. Mallory just gave me one option. She said put them both in y equals. So you'd have to be sure and square it, the cosine. The interval is still solving 0 to 2 pi. Okay, when you are solving by graphing, because if she's putting this in y equals, we're going to graph it, you always have to have your calculator in radian. So make sure you're in radian mode, and what do you need to zoom?
Zoom 9.
Zoom trig, yes. Okay, when you zoom trig, it'll automatically, when you zoom trig, your screen is set that it's going to graph from negative 2 pi to positive 2 pi. That's what your window's going to become, positive 2 pi. They want you to only give answers from 0 to 2 pi. So where are you looking for your answers?
The right side.
Only the right side. You will only be looking for answers from 0 over to 2 pi on the positive side of the axis. You will not look for the answers over here, because they're saying solve only from 0 to 2 pi. So you don't need to find the answers on the left side. But what will the answers be? How will you know where they are if you do it put it in this way? You've graphed both of those. Where are they equal to each other?
Where they connect.
Where they intersect. So you would have to find where these two are actually crossing each other. You'd have to do intersect. So
Watch 1d4.
So this could be some weird, I mean that is going to be some weird and funky graph with an x cubed minus a cosine squared. It's going to be strange. You're going to look for the intersection. Okay, your second option for doing this is you can put the entire equation in equal to 0. So in this case you would put it in as cosine squared, and then I would bring the other terms over, get it all on one side, and put y2 equals 0 as your second equation. Then where will your answers be? If you're finding where it equals 0 on the x-axis. So then you would use intersect and find the x-intercept. 2, 5. I personally prefer that method just because the first one, they might intersect somewhere off your screen. You may have to zoom out to find the points of intersection, because who knows what these funky graphs may do. Whereas this version, you're guaranteed the answers are going to be sitting there right where it crosses the x-axis. They're going to be in your viewing window. So, up to you. I don't care which way you do it. You only have one problem where you're going to try to solve them by calculator. I just want you to realize you can do that with any problem you ever do. You're taking the ACT and it says solve and you have no idea how to solve it. Put it in the calculator and find where they intersect. Works every time.
Why don't we just do that on like everything?
Well, okay, sometimes it's tedious. I mean, I can work, if it's one I can solve by factoring by hand, I can get there faster than I could ever punch all that goop into my calculator, adjust the window. I mean, there's things you do by hand because it's quick, and then if they're not so nice, you solve. I mean, obviously with today's technology, with the calculators my calc students have, they can type solve and boom, it will solve the entire problem for them.
Yeah, I can't get the word.
So, no, you are not allowed to use those on the ACT.
I don't know. Yeah, let's check it.
So, you're going to try one of those. Okay, that takes care of our lovely information here. Sorry. Oh, well, you can say bye because I didn't.
Bye, Sal. Bye, Salvador.